Well, we got the checker all loaded up, aka project fair enough. Got her set up. Finally, we're gonna take it down to my buddy's shop and throw some floors in it. So we got the trailer checked over. I know it's an oldie, but it works. We actually threw the checker hubcaps on the trailer just to old guy it up a little bit. So gonna get ready to jump in the truck, take off down the road. Hopefully nothing flies off. I've got the body strapped over the chassis in the back through the doors, and then I've got a chain mounted under here to the old hood hinges, and that's strapped down over the leaf springs to the front. The hood is tarp strapped down. The front clip is tarp strapped to the frame. So nothing should go anywhere. We got some tools. We got, I think, everything I'm gonna need to take down to the shop with me. And of course, this is the first public outing of this car, so we had to throw the old channel sticker in the back just so people know what this heap of crap is, what they're looking at. So let's get moving. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of TNT Garage and Performance. And today, we're not in my garage. We're actually down at a friend's shop for second shift welding. And we're getting really crazy on this car. We got a lot of sheet metal put in it. We're finally gonna put floors in it. I know I've said I'm gonna do it, and here we go. So we're gonna start out with the kick panel, and then we're just decided to replace the entire floor in the car. There's just no saving anything to it. So we think we got enough sheet metal. We almost have enough skill, so let's get to it. All right, so like I said in the intro, first thing I'm gonna do is replace this kick panel. It's completely rotted out. It's pulled away from the firewall. So I went ahead and made my measurements, put it on this 18 gauge steel, and it looks like the shape we need. So that's probably close enough. So next thing to do is we're actually gonna take this over to the bead roller and put some structure into it. So hopefully that will, that'll work out pretty good as far as that. And then I got to cut my braces out temporarily so I can get this new panel in, and then we can weld the braces back in before lifting the body again. The reason I want to keep this braced is basically when I go to lift the front end, when we cut these floors out, we run into the possibility of pulling the A-pillars in a firewall completely away from the car, really screwing the body up. So these will just come out temporarily, put this kick panel in, everything will go tack back in, and we can keep on getting at the floors. The first thing, we got to do some heat. All right, let's see how we use this thing. Like anything else, I just wing stuff and worry about it later. So probably that way, yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go touch them now. 2 turns.
Okay.
See what we think about it. Ready?
Yep. Oh yeah.
I'm going.
Keep going. Right there.
You want more, we can go 3.
I think that's pretty good, actually. Yep. So once you get tension, then 2 turns?
Yeah, just so you have a basis to make them all the same.
Right.
That's how I judge it.
Oh yeah. Yep. Right there.
There.
Yep. There we go. Good. Yep. Yep. Right there. Well, that should give us plenty of structure now. And it looks race car-like. Well, in order to get the rest of this kick panel out, now that we got it cut, we've got a couple spot welds in here, which I went in with a fire brush, and I could actually locate them. And as you can see, the people in Kalamazoo, Michigan really cared about their job, because there's two in the proper area, and then this one just kind of out in space, which close enough, but hey, I guess that's why the name of the build is bare enough. So we got a handful here, and then a handful here that aren't rotted. So once I pop these, we should be able to get this whole kick panel the rest of the way out. You just got to take that to the metal brake then, and
Yep. So bend that this way, so come back. Have a
yeah. Beautiful. Sweet. All right, what Nate is doing is he's actually planting our kick panel so our floor can lay on top of that and just generally make everything easier for assembly, which is, again, why it's nice to be able to bring my car down here and work with real tools. Like a straight up professional panel. All right, as you can see, we got everything cut out, cleaned up. And what we were doing earlier was we decided to flange the front part of this panel to help support the floor. Even though we're gonna be cutting the floor from here down, we used it as a reference. So I went ahead and notched it here to go around the e-brake mount and drill holes for spot welds to overlap the original panel. So now, this should slide in, supporting the floor, just like that. And there we go. And that makes for a very nice panel. Clamp it into place. And then we'll just massage this front part in a little bit with a hammer, and then we can actually get at attaching this panel in, getting our bracing back in, and then lifting the car to get the floors out of it. So it took quite a bit of time to fabricate this, but it's all worth it in the end, because this is a pretty critical part of the car when it comes to the A-pillar, the cowl, and the lower part of the A-pillar where the door resides. And these doors aren't white, so it's good to get it back to being structurally sound. Alright, now that we got the body braced, we've got the front lifted up off the frame, so the back of the body is sitting square on its cross member, which is also the spanner bar for the shocks. Now, I'm confident I could start cutting this floor out without anything going super wrong. So, we're going to whack it across right here, and then bring it down along the tunnel, and keep as much of this trans tunnel and drive shaft tunnel as we can. So let's burn some more steel. Day 2 on the build to do the floors in the checker. We made quite a bit of progress last night. We also revamped our plan a little bit. When we originally started, figured we'd have enough sheet metal to keep the tunnel and just replace the floor on either side. And last night we decided, since my buddy's gracious enough to let my car take up some room in his shop for a while, we're actually just going to do the whole floor in 3 pieces. He's going to replace the tunnel, fabricate an all new one, and do that from the front to the rear of the car, and we're just going to do floorboards all together. So today's focus for me is to get the inner rocker done on this side, get it all tied together, get the outer rocker on, and start doing the same thing on the other side. And the reason that is because there's very little structure here with the floor cut out. We do have everything braced. I've always had the door braces in here. We added a brace going side to side underneath the C pillars, and I also triangulated a link from this B pillar to that cross brace. So this is solid enough that I could start cutting out the rest of the rocker and start putting the inner rocker in to bring structure back into this body. So when we're ready, we can cut the whole floor out and everything will stay put. So that's the plan for the day. Let's get started. Getting ready to put our inner rocker in. I've got a couple pieces cut out for either side of the car, but we got to get this old stuff out of here. I'm probably just gonna take this entire rocker out, what's left of it, because we got everything braced. It shouldn't go anywhere. I've just got to clean up back here on the original metal and then get rid of all this loose rusty stuff. And we've got enough material on the bottom of the B-pillar to attach to. So let's whack this out of here and see what we end up with. We got this prepped, got the transmission laid in, getting ready to fabricate the tunnel. Once I can get to the bead roller, this will be my inner rocker, roll a bead in it for strength. Right now, we're fabricating the, I guess you'd call this the template for the tunnel.
Yep.
Should turn out pretty good. You guys have heard of the term fabricate, and I don't know who she is, but I prefer it much more when we got fabricate. Little trim. Well, we got a good pile of stuff on the floor. We've got the old trans tunnel, the driver's side floorboard, the rear bulkhead support and all that, and we've put a lot of work in so far. The big one is this car, from the time that I had it, and probably for the last 30 years, never had a structure between these two pillars. And now we got a nice bead rolled inner rocker panel. We got these sill plates in both sides, so the body is squared up down there. It's not going to move. We've got everything braced, and we're working on just replacing the whole floor pan. And we decided to cut the firewall just below the factory seam, take it all out, and fabricate new tunnel floors, bead roll it. Here's a sneak peek at the tunnel that Nate fabricated. It's all bead rolled. It's going to look real nice in the car, give us lots of room for any transmission changes in the future, in case, you know, I decide to go a lot faster and not stick with the 4-speed. Also, we got a new kick panel in there, all bead rolled, all that stuff. This thing is coming together pretty good. That's quite a bit of work. Probably in, I don't know, 6 hours yesterday, probably a good solid 6 hours worth of work today. So in 12 hours, we did a lot of math, a lot of cutting, and just kind of taking our time and doing it right. And I'm really, really happy with the way that inner rocker sill plates are turning out. So I'm digging that. Plus, it's air conditioned in here. It's miserable outside, so it's actually nice to work on a car without sweating all my internal fluids out. So this is going pretty good. Well, it's been a pretty hectic schedule, getting time off the road to come and help the guys work on my own car, but we got the tunnel in complete with the hat channels, braced the tunnel, and got it attached to the toe boards. So this is pretty much the main structure that we need to build the floor off. This is a foundation, so hopefully we can get back at it, really punch this out soon. Well, and that does it for this week's episode. Obviously, I'm back on the road. I've literally been jumping in and out of the truck whenever I could get a chance to go back through town, swing by my buddy's shop, give him a hand, of course, or them giving me a hand, whichever way you want to look at it, and get more work done on the car. I'm really happy with the results we've gotten so far, and I can't give a big enough thank you to my buddies Nate and Brandon at Second Shift Welding and Repair and helping me out on this. I'm not a guy that really ever asks for help, but when, you know, someone offers to, you know, help me do some of the hardest parts, the more fabrication intensive parts of my car that would otherwise take me months to do. It's really nice to have, and to have the shop space to do it. So I really appreciate Nate, especially it being his shop, and letting my car reside there for a while we get this huge undertaking of getting the floors done in a car. So well, I'll keep you updated as it goes. I figured I'd show you like the skeleton parts of really getting it put together, and then we could do a whole overview on the floor of the car. So of course, I hope you enjoyed this fairly short video of the project going on right now, and I'm literally editing this video before I put it right up on YouTube. That's how up against the wire I am with this one. Just a lot of time. We went to Iola. I had to get the car down there, so the last 2 weeks have been a blur. So if you like this project, go ahead and check out the rest of the build in the Checker Gasser playlist, and go ahead and check out a lot of my other projects. We got Brute Farce. There's an episode on that coming next 2 weeks. I have one on that where we do some suspension upgrades, exhaust, new tires, a bunch of stuff to really make that truck a lot better and more of a work truck that I don't have to worry about. We've also got many other projects and upcoming builds coming up on the channel. So if you haven't already, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up, hit the bell icon so you know when my videos are posted, because we always try to do something interesting on the channel, and we're slowly gaining traction and getting a little more popular. I'm trying to get out to all the car shows I can and get the channel out there. So every one of you that have subscribed so far, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. You guys have been awesome, and seeing the channel and going ahead and, you know, commenting, liking, and subscribing. So I really appreciate all of you. So outside of that, you can find me and my projects on Facebook at TNT Garage and Performance, and also on Instagram at TNT Garage and Performance. So go ahead and check them out, and we'll be back with another episode featuring Brute Farce, the V10 Ram. So we'll see you then. And remember, till next time, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. We'll see you soon.